Okay, hey everyone. Hey, it's me, Ahmed,
And I'm
the
Yasmine.
main host of The Field Between.
No, you didn't tell me we were starting. I was waiting for
Oh,
you.
okay. Well,
Now we're starting.
now we're starting.
It's my episode. I should say.
Oh, yeah, this
I
is a
should say,
Yasmine
hey,
episode. Okay,
we're starting.
we're starting. Yeah. Okay, do you want to do it?
Hi everyone. Welcome to the Field Between. I'm Yasmine. You say
I'm
Ahmed.
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 Uh-huh.
Ahmed Amr.
And we have a jam-packed episode today.
Yes, Ahmed's got some items. We're going to talk a lot about Delaney Hall, and then we're going to end with a fun little Q&A segment because I love to do Q&A.
Yeah.
How are we doing before we get into it, Ahmed?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. We had a fun weekend. Did a lot of exploring.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sleepy. I'm not sleeping that well for some reason.
Yeah.
Been very active. That's also making me sleepy.
I've been sleeping great.
Happy for
As
you.
you know, I've been undergoing radiation therapy.
Oh, don't joke about that.
No, it's real.
You got red light therapy, yeah.
Which is radiation.
Okay, but you don't have cancer. Alhamdulillah.
No.
Yes.
And hopefully I am not getting it from what I am doing. I
think
got
that's real?
influenced into buying a red light panel
You're a real influencer girly, honestly.
sometimes.
Yeah.
But this made sense because I didn't pay for it. So I was like, yeah, let me try. Let me see how it goes.
Thank you, work.
It's one of our health benefits. Instead of getting just more money,
Thank you, benefits.
we get like the.
I will
So-
say, at least your benefits are like fun.
They are fun. Yeah. No, it is
We
nice.
benefit from them.
It's like one of those things. It's like, okay, well, I guess I could just make this purchase guilt-free because otherwise I don't know if I could justify
We
it.
are carrying the debt for a couple months on our credit card while you get reimbursed, but
Only like $200.
yeah.
It was more expensive than that, to say the least. But anyway, so I got it. I am interested to see if it actually does anything.
You're mostly doing it for hair.
Yeah, but also the thing that kind of put me over the line and being like, let me try this is because I already do like finasteride minoxidil for hair, and I could just continue doing that. The thing that kind of made me look into it more is that people say that it helps with inflammation, and the form of autoimmune spine thing that I have is mostly kind of like an inflammation thing. So I was like, if it helps with that, no. If it doesn't, like, we haven't really lost anything. And if
Yeah.
it does, great.
And if it helps for only one of those things, still great. Totally.
Totally.
Yeah. I haven't tried it yet. Maybe I'll try it tomorrow.
Yeah. So the first time I did it, apparently you're supposed to actually ramp up usage.
A lot of like new things for your system are like that, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's interesting because I was like, it's light. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to ramp up on light. Like I'm
Yeah.
outside in light all the time. But then I think I did actually
We're
overdo
actually
it.
not in Pittsburgh, but also
That's true. I think I did actually overdo it, and then
You have
I
some, like,
actually
kinda
did feel.
flu-like
I kind of
symptoms,
felt a
yeah.
little sick after, and I was like, I guess this does do something.
So now you're doing it just like 5 minutes at a time, like 3 days a week, or 10 minutes at a time.
10 minutes, 3 days a week, and then we'll go from there.
I'm intrigued to see how
I'll
it is.
report back the results.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have hair all over my body.
Well, you like put your head in front of it, right? You're not like
I do. I lay down and I kind of just have it facing. Yeah. And then I change positions and kind of do like more shoulder, back.
you've
stuff.
been kind of on the cutting edge of the hair stuff, so I believe you that the science is there. Like you were an early adopter for other stuff
I was an early adopter. That stuff that's decades
compared
old.
to like other men that I know.
I'm not an early adopter, but I'm just doing the thing.
Yeah,
I'm
I
disciplined.
mean, I guess that's the thing. Also, you're disciplined. Like you don't. I think some people do like minoxidil, and is that what it's called, minoxidil?
Uh-huh.
And they like don't do it consistently.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah. No, I've been doing it consistently for like 8 years. Whoa.
yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. You've been doing it since I met you.
That's
Before
crazy.
I met you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, our other update is we accidentally spent way too much money this past weekend. It is a very fucking expensive year.
It's expensive to eat out.
Yeah, but that's like a huge activity that we do.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Because I mean we don't drink.
We don't drink.
And we love
We
food.
like food. Yeah.
Yeah,
food's
so it's
expensive.
kind of nuts.
Maybe we should
like,
start drinking.
I guess. I'm sure it's expensive to drink here too.
It does seem the
Yeah.
mocktail price.
If the mocktails
it's
are
like
any indication.
$17 for something. Yeah, that is.
But like we had such a normal day. I'm trying to remember what we did on Saturday. We like went and we got pastries.
Yeah, I got a bagel.
We did everything in retrospect. I can see how we could have done better. But like
Right.
in Pittsburgh, it's not a day that would have been like, fuck, we fucked up. You know what I mean? Like we got like 3 pastries. Okay, that's kind of a lot, but whatever.
Mhm.
They're not massive, you know. Then like you got a bagel. We each
Not 3 pastries each. It was like we split.
right. We split 3
pastries.
pastries. Yeah. Then when you got a bagel, then we like each got like a
You
chai.
got a slice of pie.
That was okay. We got a slice of pie. Did you end up having that pie?
Yeah.
Oh, good. It was pretty good, right?
It was
I think it's
good.
probably better
It's
warm,
fine.
to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know if you warmed it up, but
It's okay.
it was pretty good warm. Okay, as I'm saying, we kind of did get a lot of like treats, I guess.
We were out all day
then,
and we
like,
kind of.
Then we just got like some like pretty good, like mine was good, yours was okay, like chicken, but like, you know, nothing nuts, like it's a chicken dish out.
Right.
I don't want to say how much we spent, but it was devastating.
It was like
like
a lot.
a
Yeah,
lot,
it was a lot of
yeah.
our monthly.
It was a
budget
lot of our
for
monthly going out budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're being more judicious. I think it's good that we made plans in advance, but also to be fair, now that we like have been here longer, because that was just kind of like an exploratory day. Like now we have like things we want to do.
That's the thing. It's like
Yeah.
we are. It's not just like not going. We're trying to make an effort to go out and explore more of the city, and that necessarily means that you're just like out and
Well,
then you're eating out.
We have better
because-
plans this time though. Like
Yeah.
this Saturday, I'm gonna make sure we have breakfast before we leave, for example.
Uh-huh.
And like when we try this new pastry place, we're each only gonna get 1 pastry, and then we'll
That's
each
true.
split them. Like
we,
things like that.
we did make a lot of unnecessary purchases.
But like normally that wouldn't kill us. And like I will say to our credit, we're really not spending money like Monday through Thursday because like
Yeah,
you're kind of in daycare. Like
I
you
am kind of in daycare. I eat lunch at work for free.
and you get like all your snacks there.
I got my snacks
And you have
there.
breakfast there.
Yeah, it is kind of like daycare. I walk there.
Yeah.
I come back with my little
I mean,
backpack.
you walk alone, but like yeah.
It's AI daycare.
So like I'm like eating alone, which is like I mean we're going through food less quickly than we would normally, obviously, if you were home. And because we like don't have a lot to cook with, we're having like very simple meals. So like part of
Yeah.
me is like, well, we should be able to indulge in the weekends, but then like the numbers are rough. So anyway, that's all right. We're adjusting. But it was a rude awakening. We happened to budget at the end of that day. We were like, fuck.
I think the disappointing thing is that the food just wasn't stellar.
That's the other
It
thing.
was
like
expensive.
a
It was
lot
just
of
kind
it
of like a
was
very
like decent,
mediocre
but
meal.
I think not one thing we had that
I thought
day.
my bagel was excellent.
I thought it was excellent for you. It was a
It
it was a good bagel. It's not like my dream bagel. My dream bagel is a more classic New York bagel, but it was quite good. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I was gonna say not one thing that I ate that day is a thing that I was like, wow, this is life changing.
Right.
Like I'll be
Wow.
thinking about this for days. You know,
Interesting.
you had stuff that day that you thought was life changing?
No,
Oh,
I
you
don't,
still
I don't
have
know
that
that I've
thought
ever had a
often.
life-changing meal.
I love food. I definitely have life changing meals.
Okay.
I don't agree with you though, because you like still dream about like the croissants that bolted and like you're always ranking
true.
stuff.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So, and even like our cheap eats have not been that cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, they're better than what we did, but
Okay. We went
I'm
to the
excited
gym.
for the plans this
You
weekend.
saw the new gym. How do you
Yes.
feel about that?
Oh, it's really fun. They have like an outdoor pool, and so I've been swimming. I've only gone twice, but I mean, we've only been here 2 weeks, so I guess I've gone once each week.
How do you feel about we went through some of the machines today?
It was good.
How do you feel about that?
I definitely feel like I will go. I'm glad you showed me. That was really helpful. Thank you. I'm like sad you don't remember us working out together. I feel like that's weird that you forgot that we used to work out together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that I will definitely go like during the middle of the day because it was like right after work, which like was why you were able to help me, which is great. But it was like a little busy, which is a little intimidating. But yeah, I think it'd be good to go in the middle of the day, just depending on my schedule. But it's nice to have the option. And even if I end up mostly doing weights at home, it's still nice to be able to go swim for cardio. So it's good.
Cool.
Yeah. But I'm loving the swimming. That feels really good.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. It's nice to like do. I think the only other thing I've ever felt this way about is yoga. And even then I don't feel it every time. Just like it's genuinely fun and like it doesn't feel like work. You know what I mean? And like it feels good while I'm doing it, not just after. And that's like such a joy to have from physical movement. It's really nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel that way sometimes during yoga, but definitely not all the time. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we get into it?
Yeah. Today I was kind of sad, but now I feel better.
Okay.
Yeah. That's another update.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah. I just feel like it's so expensive. So I was like, I could go to a coffee shop, but I'm like, it's so expensive. I'd rather spend my money on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
And also I'm using the printer a lot. I'm just alone in the house. So sometimes I get sad during the day.
You are alone in the house.
Yeah. Yesterday I was happy, but today I was a little sad. But it's okay. Now I'm feeling better.
You could go to the rooftop.
I do sometimes.
You can go down to the lounge in the building.
I don't like the lounge.
You
I go
could
to the library. That's what I should do. Is
Library's
go
right
to the
across the
library.
street, yeah.
I agree. I'll go to the library next time.
Yeah.
But that's the first day I felt sad. I was just like, oh, I miss all of our friends
Yeah.
in Pittsburgh, and I miss like people.
Mm-hmm.
And then because I was most recently living with my family, I was missing my family. But now I don't feel sad because I saw you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those are all my updates.
Okay. Getting into it?
Yeah, you can do your items now.
Okay. The theme of my couple of items is a bunch of crybabies.
Oh.
The first one is this opinion piece in the New York Times. It's a guest essay by Rachel Timoner, who is a senior rabbi of Brooklyn congregation Beth Elohim.
I read this one, yeah.
And the title is The Boycott That Separated Me from My Neighbors. This is about the Park Slope Food Co-op, which I understand is kind of like
it's an institution.
It is an institution in Brooklyn.
It's been around for forever, yeah.
I think it's the one is it kind of like satirized in Portlandia?
Yes, exactly.
Is that the one?
Yeah. I knew people who were part of this co-op growing up. It was like a really big commitment. Like you can't not all co-ops. We just went to a really cool co-op here, by the way. Oh, quick aside, the grocery stores here are amazing. Every piece of fruit we have is incredible.
I will say the going out is incredibly expensive. It's like 40 to 60% more than Pittsburgh. The produce, just grocery shopping, is like way better, and it is maybe like a little bit more expensive, not that much more.
I agree. It's kind of I feel like if there is a price difference, it's worth the difference in quality.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the food is not so far. Yeah, I was gonna say this co-op was like a really big institution, still is. And unlike a lot of worker-owned co-ops where like only the workers own it, anyone who shops at the co-op in order to shop there has to work shifts.
And now they have to actually enlist in Hamas.
So no.
Because the co-op actually has boycotted Israeli products, which means that they are now co-owned by.
It's a joke for anyone who's
the Palestinian resistance
affiliated with my workplace.
Yeah.
Continue.
So I'll just read from the piece. It's pretty short, but it's just like so. I'm like so over this crybaby shit, but we'll get into it. Last week, members of a hyper-local community institution voted to boycott Israeli products. Big deal, I hear you saying. Wow, got good ears. But it is, because the vote by members of the Park Slope Food Co-op in Brooklyn is a microcosm of what's happening all across our country. We are fighting amongst ourselves based on interpretations of one another's words and actions that are often wrong. Okay. I just like honing in on that sentence. It's just like we are fighting each other. We are fighting amongst ourselves based on interpretations of one another's words or actions. I'm like, yeah, what else do you fight over someone with? Like,
true.
Words and actions are kind of
those are the
all
things.
there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't like what you're saying or doing. Of course. We are dividing our communities into two camps, pro-Israel versus pro-Palestine. Okay. When I believe the only hope for the over 14 million people who live in Israel and the occupied territories is a vision that is both pro-Palestinian and pro-Israeli. Most people who support boycotts of Israel, like a majority of the members of my local food co-op who voted in favor of the boycott, don't mean to strengthen the Israeli government or the Israeli right.
Wait, I want to pause there. Or is that in the middle of a sentence? Do you want to finish?
No, that's fine.
This is such a like false paradigm. There is barely an Israeli left. And even if there was a more kind of like robust Israeli left, Israel as a settler colonial project as it currently exists is just fundamentally flawed. So this idea that like it's just not a real thing. But
that you can map American understanding of right and left onto it.
Yeah, and even I mean, like to be fair, like the U.S. is also a settler colonial state, but yeah, I mean,
we don't really see ourselves as such. I think that's the difference between us and Israel. Is like Israel, the national identity and project is like we need to expand, and we're actually a settler colony, and we.
Well, I mean, because we killed a lot of the indigenous people here. I guess that's why. I mean, it's like we're further removed.
No, exactly. We are.
There
further
still
removed.
are like indigenous people here, obviously, but
the
same amount that we're
for sure.
Here. I think it is good to highlight that, though. This is a little bit of a digression, but I've been thinking about this in some of my writing because I was like writing about things in a colonial context, and then I'm writing about Muslims in the U.S. and I have to remind myself, like, oh yeah, the U.S. is also an empire. The U.S. is also both a product of colonialism and essentially a neo-colonial empire. You know, we have like military bases all around the world, and also like a lot of territories that are unclear in status. That are, yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I do know some people personally who have closer connections and ties to Israel, and who I don't know why I said closer. I have no connections or ties to Israel, to be clear. Who have said things like, yeah, like there is just not like a leftist movement even in academic spaces. The voices that even if you wanted to be sympathetic, you could say are moderate, are really not there, and they are there in very small numbers.
There are a couple of Israeli scholars who are very, very critical of Israel, but I think those are outliers.
That's what I'm trying to say. Is that
like
people are not like. Is Ilan Pappé actually Israeli?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't realize that. Yeah, exactly. There are people are not their states. There are always outliers, but these are not large scale movements that are being hurt by BDS. Furthermore, like BDS and boycott movements in general, like we've talked about this before with like apartheid in South Africa, have been proven to work. And I don't think when people were boycotting apartheid South Africa, they were like, there is not a single Afrikaner who like has a moral conscience, right? There probably weren't that many. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Like at the time, right? Just in the same way that like a lot of white people were okay with Jim Crow laws in the U.S. Like, you know,
right?
You kind of have to force these things,
right,
for people to let go of the privileges they've been given over other human beings.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, like this is not like the only time in history that a boycott movement has been advocated for.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to keep in mind as we kind of read this, because it is very much like if during apartheid South Africa, some co-op in New York was like, I think we'll stop importing things from occupied South Africa or from like Rhodesia.
Occupied South Africa, yeah.
And you're just and someone was like, I get what you're doing, but it makes me very sad. Like that's ridiculous. But just kind of continuing on with the piece. She says the people who are boycotting Israel don't intend to strengthen the right or weaken the left, Israeli left. The very people who are trying to bring justice and peace to the region. Many may simply feel powerless in the face of profound injustice and want to register their protest. I understand that. And even so, I chose to resign my membership in the co-op after 11 years. So here she is like admitting, whatever I perceive the Israeli left to be, I am attributing to them trying to bring justice to the region. And like these people are maybe trying to somewhat align with that. And I am actively extricating myself from the whole thing and not supporting it.
And again, what a misrepresentation. Like the Israeli right, like the entire fucking state is a fascist right state. Like even if you are so head in the sand that you're like, this began with Netanyahu, which it fucking did not, look what he's doing. Like an entire genocide Like how I just don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's so misrepresenting it as if there's two equal parties here, and like somehow the Park Slope Brooklyn Co-op boycotting Israeli couscous is gonna like
Yeah.
push the right over the edge. Like it's here, baby. It's happened.
One thing that I really hate is this like mealy mouth bullshit where people are like, listen, I hate what's going on as much as you do. And then every single one of their actions or everything that they do is fully in support of a genocide and a genocidal state. Like she's trying to come off as a liberal, someone who wants to somehow find a middle ground with Palestinians. But like at the end of the day, she just doesn't have the guts to say, I like everything that's happening. She's just going to say that I understand why you're doing this, but it's a little problematic. And I think it's just
Right.
so fucking cowardly and
Surely this
annoying.
is someone that's not okay with like armed protests against Israel, right? But then like you're also not okay with nonviolent protests if you're not okay with BDS. Like what is the right way to protest?
You're not okay with a fucking co-op
Yeah.
in Brooklyn being like, we're not gonna like what is the
What
dollar
is the appropriate
amount
way?
what is the dollar amount that Israel is losing because the Park Slope co-op is no longer importing Israeli products? It's probably like 5 figures at most, right? Like maybe in the thousands or tens of thousands of dollars.
Less, yeah.
Probably less,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Right, but
yeah.
there's just like there's like to your point, there is no actual way that they're okay with Palestinian resistance or support for Palestinians. And so like, yeah.
This next paragraph. Here are some of the conditions as I see them that produce this vote. First of all, there are the indefensible actions of the current Israeli government and the extreme suffering of the Palestinian people in both Gaza and the West Bank. Second, while it is not necessarily an anti-Semitic act to vote for the boycott, there is pervasive anti-Semitism running through the conversation about Israel that casts the nation as uniquely evil and that operates like racism, Islamophobia, and other forms of bias, often unconsciously. Third, there is the idea that the only way to solve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is to end the existence of Israel as a Jewish state instead of changing it. So she still wants to maintain it as like an ethno-state of Jewish supremacy.
Right. If there is an Israel that could be just, it would be an Israel that was far removed from its current form that included the right to return of Palestinians. I'm not saying like every person who's Jewish has to leave Israel by any means. I think, but like, right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the rest of the piece, you kind of get the sense.
There's one more part, actually,
bullshit.
if you could find it in the piece. She kind of almost goes against the right to return, which I thought was kind of like, damn, lady, like you really, something, doesn't she say something about like how Palestinians like shouldn't, not every Palestinian can come back? Or am I making that up? She also just does a really terrible job describing the BDS movement in ways that are not accurate.
Oh, maybe you're talking about this part. I'll read the paragraph that I'll read the paragraph that leads into it. She's kind of talking about how this boycott is not necessarily led or officially affiliated with the BDS movement, but the people who are in it are somewhat tied into it, blah, blah, blah. While the group Park Slope Food Co-op Members for Palestine, which organized the boycott, is not formally affiliated with the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement, it described the vote as echoing the demands of the nonviolent Palestinian-led BDS movement. The measure says the co-op's boycott will end when Israel complies with the international law, including by ceasing unlawful discriminatory practices. But a founder of the global BDS movement, Omar Barghouti, has indicated that its long-standing campaign to boycott, divest, and sanction will not end when there is a Palestinian state. This seems to mean, presumably, that even when there is a state of Palestine, the boycott will continue until every Palestinian who wants to move into Israel can do so, until there is no longer a majority Jewish state anywhere in the world.
If you believe that anyone with Jewish heritage has a right to go to Israel, and you actually are kind of trying to frame this as if though you're like so reasonable and liberal and equitable, why wouldn't every Palestinian have the right to return to Palestine? That's crazy.
I mean, yeah. Just say you're a Jewish supremacist, like point
Yeah.
blank period,
Yeah.
and say you want an ethno state, and say you want an apartheid state.
Yeah.
Like, just say those fucking things, and I would.
She honestly
I would,
kind of is.
I would. I mean, she kind of is, but she's trying to make it seem like I'm a liberal, and I'm like, I understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand and care about Palestinians, but like, I kind of want them to die. But I wish someone else would kill them for me. It's just fuck. I would respect it more if you were just like.
I mean, she's not
upfront
saying
about.
that.
She pretty much should. Like,
She's saying she wants a Jewish ethno state, which they have already. Yeah.
And she wishes there weren't Palestinians in it, and
She doesn't want more
that
Palestinians
they didn't have rights.
to come. Yeah.
And yeah.
All right, second cryberry baby piece.
Okay.
Is this audio?
No.
Oh.
This is a Substack article. Okay.
I started a Substack.
Oh yeah, do you want to talk about it?
No.
Okay.
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week. Okay. This is I almost feel disgusted bringing this up, but this is Sam Harris,
Yeah.
who, if you don't know, is just like a rabid Muslim, anti-Arab
It's like
guy.
the extreme atheist guy, right?
He's like a new atheist, humanism, whatever guy. Self-styled kind of intellectual. I don't know why people take him seriously as any sort of thinker. I've never really heard him say anything all that interesting.
There was like a moment where people were very into like the new atheist movement. The moment has definitely passed. Now we're having like a really religious right revival over here. But
yeah, he got kind of...
When we were like in college, it was popular, I feel like.
He was popular because, I mean, Bill Maher has him on the show all the time to be like, Arabs love to live in squalor and they're barbarians and they are just like constitutionally incapable of complex thoughts. And like they really just do race science in a very like 19th century way. This is a piece he recently wrote June 5th on his Substack titled, Why I Don't Debate Critics of Israel.
I didn't even know he was a Zionist.
Yeah, no, he's an atheist, but he loves Zionism for some reason. And
I mean, there are lots of non-Jewish people who are Zionists who talked about that before, but I didn't know that he was. Yeah.
Yeah. And
he's not a Christian Zionist either, I guess, because he's an atheist, right?
He's an atheist Zionist, which is like, I don't know how many of those there are. It's interesting. It's an interesting thing to be.
I think it's probably quite a few.
You think so?
Yeah, there's a lot of Zionists of all different stripes, unfortunately.
Yeah. Just a little background too. Like he's one of those people again of like this intellectual. I put it in quotes because again, he like nothing he says indicates to me that he is capable of deep thought. He like goes around and debates people and stuff like that. And so he is saying, I'm not going to debate anyone who criticizes Israel. Many readers and podcast listeners have been dismayed by my enduring support for Israel and now urge me to debate someone, really anyone, drawn from a growing cast of scholars, grifters, and moral lunatics who have made that beleaguered country their professional or psychiatric obsession. The Making Sense community seems to have inherited this infatuation, leading to some heated exchanges in recent days. I've explained my position on Israel across several podcasts and in public talks, but it might help to summarize it here. First, my general attitude. I'm not interested in exploring all the ways that Israel has missed the mark, from Netanyahu's corrupt alliance with the far right to the many crimes committed by settlers in the West Bank, to the deaths of innocent non-combatants in several wars.
Oh shit, he's listing things and then saying I don't care.
Yep. He's like, none of these failings, however grave, will alter my sense that 1, the ethical difference between Israel and her enemies remains vast, and 2, the global preoccupation with the Jewish state, as though it were the worst villain among nations, is contemptible, being the product of perennial lies and delusions. I will say off the bat, As much as I hate Sam Harris, I respect this so much more than that woman.
He's not pretending.
No, he's like, oh yeah,
I
they
feel
are
like
committing war
respect's not
crimes.
the right term, but I hear what you're saying.
He's like, listen, I love Israel so much that like the war crimes, the killing of civilians, the illegal settlements, all of that, the fascism, I love it.
Yeah.
It's great. So, yeah, no, I respect it a little bit more, although it's stupid for very obvious reasons. Next, a simple heuristic. As I suggest, and at least, by the way, I hate. I just
like use these words to make it seem like they're so smart. I hate that
not
shit.
the word. It's just like that. These two paragraphs. He's like, first, my general attitude :
Hey. A
Next,
lot of us write
a
like that.
simple heuristic :
To be fair, that's kind of just like conventional academic writing. I write like that also.
I know, but he's like not an academic. He's kind of just a fucking
but
idiot.
he pretended, you know.
I don't know. I think it's annoying. Simple heuristic. As I suggested in at least one community thread already, if my intransigence on these matters mystifies you, it might help to understand that, for whatever reason, I think militant Islam is 10 times worse than you think it is. When I talk about jihadists in their various groups, Hamas, Hezbollah, Al-Qaeda, and the Islamic State, the IRGC, etc., I'm talking about people who I consider to be worse than Nazis. Parentheses, jihadists being essentially Nazis who are certain of paradise.
Oh.
That's like a weird parenthetical. It's like,
Yeah, it is.
okay, so the Nazis are worse if they believe in like heaven.
Uh-huh.
Like what? I don't understand why that makes them worse than Nazis. It's like,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It seems like they would be as bad. Or like the belief in heaven is
Maybe he's
to
saying it
me
makes
irrelevant.
them more like willing to be martyrs. I don't know.
I don't know. To me, it doesn't. Like if I'm being killed by a Nazi versus a Nazi who believes in heaven, I don't think I care.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. Anyway, real quick on that, the groups he lists, it's just like a list of. Some of these are not like the others, right? Like
Yeah, which like
There's
let's
like-
not go on into detail because I don't
there's
want
like
to
a
get
try.
in trouble. But
Yeah, sure, okay, I won't get you in trouble, but some of
Right.
them are actual like militants.
all right, none of these were like yay cheerleading, but like it's also not helpful or intellectually thoughtful to put them all in the same exact category.
Right. And maybe he's too stupid to know what he's doing there, or at worst, he like knows exactly what he's doing. But maybe he doesn't. I think he might be too stupid to understand. My views about the conflict in the Middle East will not fundamentally change unless my critics produce evidence that Israel has become as evil as her enemies. Okay, this next paragraph's like really just sent me for a fucking loop here. So he's saying that like you have to produce evidence that Israel is as evil as you're telling me. I listed some of the quote evil things and I still support them, but you have to tell me why they're worse than like Hamas, for instance. However, you can rest assured that the IDF morphs it. However, you can rest assured that if the IDF morphs into a death cult that uses its own civilian population as human shields, ding 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 ding. Parentheses, and yet somehow remains widely popular. Ding 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 ding.
Wait,
I need like a little bell.
He has to be like fucking with people a little bit.
That's what's going on. I was like, this has to be a troll, but like Sam Harris
too,
is so
like-
fucking stupid that he like does not understand. It gets crazier. If ordinary Israelis begin to celebrate martyrdom above every earthly priority, oh my God. It's just like everything is like, yes, that's happening, Sam.
Right.
Producing generations of bright-eyed suicidal fanatics. If the residents of Tel Aviv condone the taking of Palestinian infants, old women, and other non-combatants as hostages, and then gather in crowds of thousands baying for their blood, it's just like, this is actually happening. There was a protest for the right to like kidnap and rape Palestinians and
Yeah.
keep them detained indefinitely, and like to continue expanding in the like West Bank. It's and like Ben Gavir and Smotrich are constantly doing these like prison walkthroughs and rallies to be like, we should kill every single Palestinian. It's just like it is too perfect that like every clause, every sentence in this paragraph, he's like, yeah, you'd have to prove to me that these things exist, and every single one of them exists. But it goes on a little bit more. Bankrupt led. If, in other words, the Israelis begin to resemble the Palestinians, then I won't care who wins this war. Short of this, there remains a world of difference between the two sides, and I believe that we should focus on how brutalizing it is for any free society to confront enemies that can sincerely claim to love death more than everyone else loves life. For this has been Israel's predicament for the better part of a century.
This is so interesting. I saw a reference to this last night from someone who I started following, who I really like, Sam Chris, who's kind of like leftist, like anti-capitalist commentary. But he had like a very both sides take that I found a little disappointing.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't say very, like I would definitely not say he's a Zionist, like he's not pro-Israel. It was a little bit more both sidesy than I would have appreciated, but he referenced the Sam Harris thing.
Oh.
I'll show you the post after.
What was his take?
He was just like, hey, like both sides do fucked up stuff. One side does more fucked up stuff, and in his case, the side doing the more fucked up stuff was Israel. So again, it wasn't like, it was definitely not like a pro-Israel post, but I was kind of surprised. I feel like he was missing some context / maybe speaking a little bit out of his depth, as men are wont to do on the internet, especially certain leftists. But yeah, this is kind of reminding me. I was thinking like, why does Sam Harris care so much? And I was thinking of the new atheist movement, and like, I remember people being quite aggressive about it in college. Do you remember this? It'd be like, well, why do you believe in God? Or like kind of intense. Totally. And I forgot that there was this Islamophobic kind of fringe to it. That totally makes sense. I forgot that.
I think I mean, I don't know. I'm not. This probably, it's more complicated than this and more multifaceted. But like a lot of it did start around Bill Maher's documentary Religulous.
Yep. Which was like very anti.
Was it? To me, I remember it being like more focused on Christianity.
Oh, maybe I'm misremembering. Bill Maher in general.
Yes, exactly. So like, he kind of focused on how dumb like all these Pentecostal Christians were, and kind of made that representative of Christianity, and all these like Baptists and very like fundamentalist Christians. And I can't remember if he does Westboro Baptist Church.
You might be right, actually. I don't think he talked to. Yeah.
But then, you know, like that was a big moment. That was a big piece of media that I think turned a lot more people tuned into Bill Maher after that. And then got like his like very, very anti-Arab, Islamophobic views. And that got lumped in with like, you know, he has Sam Harris on, and then these things become part and parcel of like the overall new atheist humanist
and like to be fair, like that was like one fringe of it, and I think there were also just a lot of people that like were coming to college and were interested in like thinking secularly from more religious backgrounds. Like there was like a larger, broader movement that was not just Islamophobic, but yeah, that was definitely a huge part of it too.
Yeah. I want to read one more like sentence from this just to kind of segue into one last point that I want to make.
Sounds good.
He says, yes, Israel has its religious fanatics too, but they aren't the same sort of lunatics we find in Hamas or Hezbollah, and they're far less representative of the surrounding culture. I want to focus in on that last little bit where he's saying like, yeah, you might have like, you know, settlers and people who like everything that Netanyahu and the IDF are doing, but these are outliers. And they're not representative of Israel more broadly. There have been, in the last couple of days, Israel's broken like ceasefires in Lebanon, which has then Iran has like retaliated against them and saying like, hey, if you don't stop doing this shit, that's like a non-starter for us to sign a peace deal with the US. And there's just like this Trump did a interview with Financial Times where I think they're kind of doing this thing with Trump that they did with Biden, where they're like, Trump is really mad at Netanyahu.
I know.
Behind
It's
the scenes.
so boring.
He's telling
it's
him
so stupid. It's such like a old stunt. It's kind of insulting.
Yeah. But this is kind of like an embarrassing thing. He's quoted, I call the shots. I call all the shots. Netanyahu doesn't call the shots. This is like a quote from Trump in that interview with Financial Times, and he's saying that Netanyahu would have to ultimately accept a deal with Iran, and like he shouldn't get he won't let him interfere with it, and he won't have a choice but to like stop attacking and stop undermining him. And like as they kind of figure out who's topping and who's bottoming in their relationship, the other thing that comes up here is the fact that I had this bookmarked somewhere. Hold on one sec.
I'm glad that Sam Harris is getting pushed back.
He is?
I mean, it sounds like he's saying like a bunch of my supporters keep on asking me to clarify my position.
No, they just want him to debate someone.
Yeah, but no, for some of what you read made it seem like they were just like trying to point out. I'm just glad that not everyone who follows him agrees with him.
I'm not sure. I don't know if that's the case, but maybe. It'd be great if more people saw what an idiot he is based on like really just that one paragraph in which he... I don't even know what to call it. It's just like you like picked the things that would make you believe the opposite of your current opinion. You're like, if these things were true, and like each one of them is true, is like an insane thing to me. Sorry, this is across two pieces, right? So I showed you that like Financial Times thing, or we talked about it, but like there's a New York Times thing that talks about how Netanyahu's bow to like Trump's Iran pressure is spurring all this criticism from within Israel, and how what's happening between Israel and Iran now and like what Israel's doing among the populace is like super overwhelmingly popular. And people are actually quite upset with Netanyahu for not continuing to undermine whatever Trump's genuine effort to sign a peace deal or get it done is.
Yeah.
So his line about this is not indicative of broader Israel is absolutely false. Like everyone, I think also in that survey they say like the damage and like the losses, however minimal, Israel has suffered are like worth what they want to gain, which is like expansion it's and destruction of Iran and
very
Lebanon.
Radicalized population.
Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah, I like that was well thematically grouped. They both are doing some crybaby stuff.
Dude, these crybabies.
Yeah.
Right? It's
all
so
right.
old. It's so old. It's like such a tired fucking game. I can't believe it's still happening. What do you got?
I wanted to talk about Delaney Hall in some more detail.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be drawing mostly from a PBS article, a Democracy Now! Article, a New York Times article, and then we're going to end with a CNN article, which actually, if you can pull your laptop up, I sent to you so we could both read together.
I'll pull it up on my phone. My laptop's
dying. Yeah. So I just wanted to go into more detail about this because it's ongoing, and because we touched on it really briefly last podcast, but I hadn't done a lot of research. I didn't have a lot of context, and there's just more information out, and I've also sought out more information. So just to kind of give a little more context, Delaney Hall is an ICE detention center in Newark, New Jersey. It's a 1,000-person facility, and it's being run by a private prison company called Geo, which I thought was kind of interesting. I guess this is common, but I didn't realize, did you, that like ICE facilities, like some of them are just being run not by ICE. Yeah, I didn't realize that.
They're all being like built and run by private contractors.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
That's like, I don't know why that's
I
crazy.
mean, the same with prisons, right? Like,
I mean, that's the thing, I guess. I was like, I know that prisons have been privatized, so why wouldn't this be? But like, I guess it makes me realize how crazy it is that prisons are privatized too. I never really thought about it that hard. Like, that's nuts. Like, wow, like this is a government agency.
someone's making money. There's an industry and a profit incentive to keep people in jail.
Thank you. Yes, that's true. But like, it's like the government is doing it. So like, why is it? I don't know.
No, I'm saying like, yeah, no, it is absurd. It's like a
Yeah.
disgusting incentive to have out
Yeah,
there. And like
yeah.
the fact that it's a thing and it's a market should kind of shock and disgust everyone.
Yeah. And again, like I know that there are private prisons, but anyway, I thought that was nuts.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the largest private prison companies in the United States. It's under a 15-year, $1 billion federal contract.
I will say, I mean, it's very common, right, that these private contractors get contracts, and like even under the Trump administration, it's just like even worse because the grift is so obvious where people who are his friends and who have donated heavily to him are getting these contracts without any competition, some no bid. But like, yeah, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation thing. And then there was another group. I can't remember what it was born out of, but like the mercenaries who they sent, all private contractor mercenaries who went with like assault rifles and shot people as they were distributing aid. Like that was all private. People made money off of that.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Yeah.
For the people who built the pier, that was like
that was military.
Right?
That's why it didn't work, baby. That's why it floated out into the ocean. That's American. That's
so stupid.
That's tax dollars.
Right.
I mean, I guess it's all tax dollars, but
I also just wanted to correct a little bit because I feel bad that I spoke ill of the mayor without knowing that much. But last year, almost a year exactly from now, May 2025, Newark's mayor Russ Baraka and Representative LaMonica McIver were charged with assault while protesting immigration agents there. So the mayor himself has actually been like involved in the protests, and like the charges against him have been dropped, I believe, but not against McIver. New Jersey's governor, Mickey Sherrill, who I'm not really familiar with her, but she also joined the protests at one point. So this has been something that has had eyes on it for a while, you know.
Okay.
But I don't think has gotten a ton of coverage, at least as far as I can tell, outside of like the tri-state, and not sustained coverage. To be fair, a lot is happening.
Yeah.
And now almost a year later, in June of this month, so as we covered, you know, they were happening, I think they were just beginning when we recorded last week. Protests have accelerated within the facility. And there's this really beautiful symbiosis, finally, that I think we've all been waiting for between like people within the facility rising up and people on the outside like answering the call. And so there's been a hunger strike and a labor strike. And just quoting from the PBS News article, the Delaney Hall detainees said they're being given moldy and expired food, some of it with maggots, and are housed in overcrowded cells that lack air conditioning, which is very upsetting.
Yeah.
One thing I saw in like comments, because I also watched a couple of like YouTube videos of kind of like more like citizen style journalism of the protests, that I found a little bit disappointing in the comments specifically, which like obviously YouTube comments are kind of where humanity goes to die, where people being like, why are we focusing on this? Like people are being treated badly, like Americans are being treated badly in prisons and jails. I was like, I feel like it's like a both end. Like I guess there is something to be said, particularly if you like have family who's incarcerated, to be like, let this be a light on like the broader prison industrial prison industrial complex in the U.S. The U.S. incarcerates the highest rate of its population in the entire world.
Yep.
Like we have like so many people behind bars that are really hidden from us that we don't think about on a daily basis, and it's like really, really disgusting. So I kind of hope that that's more in the direction we go, instead of being like, well, why are they caring about the immigrants who are being treated this way? Being like, well, we should care about everyone who is incarcerated, right?
Sure.
We should care about like the entire system on every level. But also a lot of these folks like are particularly vulnerable. And in the article, there was a lot of kind of conversation about like how they're repeatedly given quote unquote self deportation like forms, and they're under a lot of like psychological distress. They don't have the same rights as like, you know, people who are citizens who are incarcerated, as awful as that also is. Some Democratic members of Congress from New York City, so not from Newark, visited the facility early in the protests and said that the detainees' accounts were credible. So like have agreed with that. But people have had a hard time getting access since then. And then here are some quotes from the PBS article. So the protesters, some wearing gas masks and helmets, have used traffic cones, trash cans, and other items as makeshift shields and tried to block vehicles from entering or leaving the facility. I thought this kind of list of everything that had happened to the protesters is a crazy juxtaposition with like the ICE officials kind of being whiny and saying that they're afraid. So someone was hit with a rubber bullet. There's like really graphic photos of like, you know, it shows indentation in the skin. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't have known the difference. I wouldn't have known that it was a rubber bullet. Wasn't lethal, thankfully, but like it looks really bad.
I mean, maybe that incident wasn't lethal, but this is the thing about riots and how they've been doing like protest control or responding to even just like peaceful protests. They say like, oh, this is what is the actual term? It's like non-lethal ammunition or whatever, and that's like rubber bullets and, you know, tear gas and all this stuff. That shit can be lethal.
No, you're right.
Especially when they kind of like, they're like, oh, it's not gonna hurt anyone, and they like, point blank, there have been instances where riot officer in riot gear have like these things that fire rubber bullets, and they're hitting people point blank range right in front of them in the temple, and like concussion, or you could kill someone, blind someone.
That's a really good reminder. It reminds me actually of the academic Jasper Poir has this like really good piece where she talks about intent to maim in the context of Israel, like also like the kind of systematic kind of rendering of a population to be disabled on a massive level is also a form of incredible violence, and we shouldn't just think in terms of like death or life, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that also really applies to American police violence in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
There's equipment from an Associated Press photojournalist. She was injured while covering a standoff. And then the journalist, her name is Angelina Katsanis, was struck in the knee by a wood beam. She sought medical attention. She used a geo-tracking device to find her own gear by going to the ICE officer's home. And so, like, right, there's been all these crazy things that have happened to people who are just kind of bystanders and protesters. And yet the acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche shared images online of like bruises sustained by ICE officers.
Yeah.
They have arrested 80 people. Yeah, it's just kind of wild.
This was like they did something like this similarly. Was it when, I don't know. Yeah, something very similar to this happened. I can't remember if it was a Palestine encampment thing or whatever, but they like showed cops like someone had a scratch from like something, and they were like, oh, they got assaulted.
It's like
and
in soccer when like
they
the
were
players
in so
like
much
fall
danger.
and they
Yeah.
pretend that they're
Dude, this is honestly, it's Crybaby Nation. It's just so weird to have the most whiny people in the world also being like the most rabid, fascist, violent death cult.
There's strong overlap.
Like
the whininess correlates.
Like if you're
fascism.
going to do
Yeah.
extermination and like mass deportation and concentration camps, like at least toughen the fuck up and like be willing to get a bloody nose.
This also reminded me of our interview with Muhammad, the former University of Pittsburgh student who like had an officer like point a gun at him, and then like the officer accused him later of things that like
of assault,
were ridiculous. Yeah,
and she like I think it was maybe a scratch on her arm,
something.
And, like
I don't know if it was even that. Honestly, I don't think it was
and
even that. I think
it's
there
not
was
even
no visible anything. Yeah,
and it's also like could not be proven that he did anything.
No, yeah.
She just had.
But
a scratch
I mean,
on
what
her
can
arm.
be proven is that like she pointed a gun at him. Yeah,
yeah.
So a curfew was called. I think that was when we were recording last week. As of today, we're recording Tuesday, June 9th. The curfew has been lifted and protests have resumed immediately, which is really heartening. So people are outside of the facility right now in mass numbers.
Wow.
It's not getting the coverage it should be, honestly. I
definitely
had to
is
like
not.
dig a little bit. Yeah. The Times
It's not
had,
been
like,
in any of the papers I've read.
Yeah, and the Times had like some really great like a really great essay of like photos, which was interesting and captivating, but like it hasn't hit like the main page yet.
No.
And this is the kind of shit that like should be getting coverage, I feel like, from mainstream liberal news. It's the kind of thing that like I think this is the kind of beginning of the sort of movement that needs to happen to
Watch them start doing like RICO charges for anyone who is
Oh,
in
they
support.
100% will.
Yeah.
That's absolutely what they're working towards. I bet these 80 people who were arrested are gonna, 100%.
They're gonna be like, it's conspiracy. Well, no, like if it does get national coverage and people start to send in support or
Oh, like
fundraise
even
for
through
them, like
association.
yeah,
I think that's what they're trying. I think it's what the administration has been trying to move
it'd
towards.
be like material
Absolutely.
support for
Yeah. I
terrorism.
mean, we're seeing that happen with Palestine. So I think that will happen
Yeah.
with like other ideologies, which we talked about before. Even if you don't care about Palestine, you should. These kind of like ways that ideology is being discriminated against by the government will be used for different
Yeah.
protests and used for
Or that
different
even
different forms of
yeah.
different causes. Yeah.
The fact that they say like, oh, if you have certain beliefs, you are necessarily part of a group, which set aside whether that would be like ideal or not ideal or whatever, but the idea that there's like, oh, you believe in a free Palestine, therefore you are part of a pro-Hamas terrorist group should really concern you.
Yeah, and that's well articulated to exactly what they're trying to make the case for.
Right.
And similarly, if you're like, oh, I'm against ICE, they're going to be like, did you throw a Molotov cocktail?
Yeah.
Or like, do you sanction that behavior? Like,
Right.
that's really kind of the sort of ideological, or that's kind of the connections that they're drawing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to go through this article a little bit that I sent you. If you want to pull it up now, that's a little bit more about this like group. This is a CNN article.
Geo Group.
Yes, against the company that is running the detention center.
Mm-hmm.
The founder of a private company accused of mistreating ICE detainees came to the U.S. via Ellis Island in 1953.
Oh.
So this is by Ray Sanchez. It was published 2 days ago on CNN. So I'm going to read a little bit. When George Zoley, the founder of a private company that manages more than 20 federal immigration facilities, testified before Congress in 2020, he spoke about how his own immigrant experience shaped his life.
Oh, yeah.
Zoley, the CEO and executive chairman of private prison firm the GEO Group, was born in 1950 in a house with no plumbing or electricity in the remote town of Florina in northwestern Greece, according to a transcript of his testimony at a hearing on ICE contractors' response to the COVID-19 outbreak. I just wanted to say, screw this man. Screw anyone who comes from an immigrant background and immediately turns on other people.
It be your own people.
That's like, but also like, kind of, but also like, what a dick move to be like, because I come from an immigrant background.
I mean, yeah, like we see that with so many people, right? It's like a lot of immigrants who come here and quote do it the right way are actually pro making the borders more violent because they're like, everyone should do it the right way. And,
Yeah, exactly.
It's sad. It's mushy brain baby bullshit, but
yeah,
it happens.
Skipping down to page 11, I thought it's just kind of like helpful to reminder in context. This is a New Jersey immigration lawyer, Selena DeStefani, telling CNN Delaney Hall is not one single bad apple. There's many detention facilities around America that are like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good reminder and call that like these sort of protests need to and inshallah will happen, like I think around the country anywhere that ICE detention centers exist. And this is really sad, but it was just kind of like one person's testimony talking a little bit about the conditions. So Maria Hurtado, 23, was blowing bubbles in the direction of her nearly 2-year-old son outside the Delaney Hall facility. Her 24-year-old husband, Marlon Torres, had been held there for 3 months. After the visit, she said the boy always leaves in tears. Torres, who's from Colombia, was arrested by ICE when he appeared for an immigration appointment.
Yeah, that's been happening a lot.
Fucking insane. So, like, they're following the law. This is actually the thing. The Trump administration can't meet their quotas. And so they're actually going after people who are complying, which is wild. Like, they're just doing it to keep the numbers up, but they're not going after people, for the most part, who are, like, hiding.
Yeah.
They're going after people who are trying to, like, quote-unquote, do the right thing. He was their sole breadwinner. I feel like the world crashed down on me, she said. Hurtado likened the meals at Delaney Hall to cat food and said detainees are treated like animals. Her husband told her he was served a plate of beans contaminated with worms. It can take as long as a week to see a doctor, Hurtado said her husband told her. And yeah, it just kind of continues there. The South American immigrant who spoke to CNN through a translator was released from Delaney Hall last month. I will say, I thought it was a little weird that the CNN article kept on referring to him as an immigrant. I thought that was strange. Like, just like kept on saying the immigrant. I don't really know what they're trying to do there. He was held with 7 other men in a small room with 4 bunk beds. Outside, there was a single bathroom for the nearly 200 men on the floor. Half of the 8 toilets were clogged and unusable. One day, detainee slipped in the shower and passed out after striking his head. It took 40 minutes for help to arrive. The air conditioning was always on high, and the men did not have warm blankets. That's why a lot of people were often very sick, the immigrant said. Again, okay. The food, he said, did not smell fresh. To make matters worse, he also started to get unbearable abdominal pain. His stool was bloody. When he saw a doctor inside the facility about a week later, he was assured this condition was normal and was told that he had to eat. After his release, the immigrant said he had to have surgery to resolve the condition. There's psychological abuse, he said. A lot of guards pressure us to sign voluntary deportations papers. Detention center changes people's lives. Your mental health is gone. God willing, justice will be served. So this is a person that even according to the absolutely draconian, inane, ununderstandable dictates of our system was released. And this is the kind of treatment that they had to undergo. Yeah, that's all I really said. Just good reminder that this is a business. I'll just kind of end with this quote on 17. The GEO group has the highest revenue of any private detention contractor in the United States. This year, it's holding approximately 24,000 ICE detainees, a company record. It's also the industry's top contributor to political campaigns, which is what you were saying earlier. Mm-hmm. So this is they're getting contracts and then they're feeding back that money essentially into the political machinery and then getting more contracts. Yeah, so very upsetting stuff. There's another quote in here later on that just kind of says that the GEO group is the nation's largest ICE contractor, provides more than 40% of the beds for the agency. But I'm glad to see that there is physical resistance, and I think that especially after Minneapolis, people are really aware of how high the stakes are, and so it's all the more heartening and important that people are turning out. And I think it's important that they're also communicating with people who are incarcerated in the facility. Yeah, that's all I have.
Inshallah, all these people will be put to the sword.
Okay, for legal purposes, that is not a literal statement, but inshallah, justice will be served.
It will happen. Yeah, no, that's awful. That's disgusting.
I'm glad that you also think it's not getting that much coverage. I was surprised. Once I read more about it, but I was looking for news stories just about it. I was why is this not on the top?
The weird thing is that the only time I've actually ever seen anything about it is when I infrequently now pop back in on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's where I've seen it. I've been trying to read more New York Times, Financial Times, some of the period magazines and shit. Has not been in any of those.
I think it speaks to the importance of doing both. I think overall for your brain health and for your knowledge of the world, it's probably better to spend more time you are. But I think kind of the social media does have a place in our current ecosystem.
It's a reminder mainstream media there is some value in other stuff. You know what I should do is just incorporate more drop site news, some of the other stuff. I gotta
great.
check those
and
more
Democracy
often.
Now. I will say I pulled from mainstream sources for this, right? I pulled from the Times. I pulled from where else I wrote down. What else did I say?
CNN, PBS,
PBS. Yeah, good memory.
Okay,
Jeez.
maybe I.
But
okay. Well,
I was going through the news tab on Google. It's not they're the top of those sites. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So PBS, Democracy Now, New York Times, and CNN. So and the New York Times piece was good, but it was really buried because I read the front page every day, and it wasn't in that. So yeah, and I think that I feel for those of us who are in the U.S. thinking about the kind of way that movements are interconnected, these are people being incarcerated in a way that is tangibly, physically close to us. And so it's important to think about what to do in our immediate context.
Right.
Yeah. I had a fun, lighthearted thing I want to just end
Questions?
with, but does it feel maybe we've gone long enough? Should I do a few?
I could do it. What is it?
Okay. It's from Teen Vogue.
Okay.
It's a list of 21 questions. Don't worry, we're only going to do 3.
Oh, thank God.
And we've told the story before about how cute you were when we were first dating, right? That you wrote me all these questions.
Right.
And we got through them and I was like, let's do more. And you were like, oh my God. You thought that would be it. It was so cute. These are for if you want to get to know your crush, your bestie, or your new friend on a deeper level.
I feel like we've done this.
Yeah, but not with these particular set of questions.
These are new?
They're from Teen Vogue.
New questions just dropped?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. All right, let's do it.
Okay, first one. Let's just do 3. What's this? We can both answer them. What's the strangest dream you've ever had? It could be just, if you can't think of ever, just think of a strange dream you've had.
I mean, I think it's the fact that I have a recurring dream where I'm supposed to be on a plane that's
China.
it's going to China, and like it's an hour before my flight, and I'm not at the airport yet, and I haven't planned it. And like I've been having this dream since high school, so it's like not even recent like worries about, or the
Flying a lot for work, or
no, it's not about flying for work, and it's not about China overtaking the U.S. as a superpower.
That wasn't on your brain when you were in Thomasville, North Carolina?
No, not really.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I remember you used to say when we were kids, like, if you keep on digging, you'll hit China. I think it was like a place that we imagined to be far away, so maybe that's why. Did you ever hear that phrase growing up? I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's like, it's like, it's somewhere far away you're supposed to be. It's
right.
So interesting that it's reoccurring. I don't have anything like that has been like throughout my entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you?
So I've been keeping a dream journal since 2015.
Really?
You don't know that?
No.
Are you joking?
No, you have a dream journal?
How do you not know that? So many people in my life know that.
I had no idea you were keeping a dream journal.
This is why it's good to play questions, Ahmed.
Wow.
I have a notes app on my phone that I've been keeping since like I was in Portland my second year, which was, when was that? 20.
That's crazy. You should upload it to Claude.
I was thinking that actually.
And be like,
based on all these things you're telling me.
What's wrong with me?
Well, I do. So I would say I don't write down every dream I have anymore because like it makes me not fall back asleep. I probably write down about half of them.
You should actually upload it to like a notebook LM.
I've done lots of like keyword searches, like for your name, for like different people's names, which is fun. Let's see how many times you come up. A lot, I think. 68. It's pretty good. That's pretty good.
How many of those are bad references though? It's like, because I feel like every time you wake up, you're like, you cheated on me in a dream. And you did
I often
this
have
and...
cheating dreams, which I think is like a symptom of just an anxious mind. I don't think it's anything about a relationship.
Yeah. How many of those are like, I had a really pleasant dream, Ahmed?
I've had dreams about like us having kids. I had lots of nice dreams about us.
Okay. That'd be interesting. See, that would be something we could answer if we uploaded them.
There's also been periods where I'm like, oh, like water is coming a lot. Like it's kind of fun because you see different motifs and stuff, whatever. Anyway, so this is a weird dream. This is the first dream I ever had about you. A lot is happening, but basically I'll jump to the part where, oh wait, this is the most recent one. That's not helpful. Let's go back to the beginning. Okay. Basically, I'll just read it. At a birthday party in Raleigh, playing it cool with Ahmed. We are in a restaurant somewhere eating dinner at a birthday party at a long table with a bunch of people. And we are at opposite ends of the table, but keep smiling and making eye contact. I think for some reason we're trying to play it cool / appear modest and not let onto the group that we've spent time together. I think
Wait, was this when we were dating?
I think we had just like gone on 1 or 2 dates.
What year was this?
Whenever that was, I guess 2020.
Oh, you don't have that by year?
No. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah. I yell at Elle, our friend, is it her birthday? Mostly Muslims. And then we leave. We end up together in a raft, tubing down a river, but it was flooded, sort of post-apocalyptic, burned out city, dead rabbits everywhere.
Dead rabbits?
At the house, I see Jay, my advisor, by the lake, want hot chocolate. Then I see my mom inside. We pass by someone who looks like granddad. We both know he's dead, but it feels like a good sign. We end in the den with...
he's dead, but...
It feels like a good sign, yeah.
It's a good sign he's dead?
No, I feel like him being there is a good omen. That he sees you and me in the raft in the post-apocalyptic city. Even though I'm like, oh, he's not actually here, you know.
Okay.
And then it ends in the den with Ahmed and I watching TV. So that was my first dream that you appeared in.
Okay. Yeah,
I think the apocalyptic stuff is like, I think it was COVID, so that's probably that. Yeah. So that's one of my crazier dreams. My next dream with you just says something with Ahmed.
Whoa.
Really specific.
That sounds...
Oh, I remember this one was
tantalizing.
creepy. Ahmed's face decaying, flies eating it. Scary, but try not to be scared.
Oh.
Oh, this one. Ahmed creates a cool wall of sound and light. Really wants me to love it. So sweet.
Whoa. Maybe that was predicting me getting my red light panel.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. All right. What's
Oh,
next?
I remember this one upset me. You had a baby with someone else. Anyway,
Oh.
it's a good time.
Before or after you?
We haven't had a baby, so I assume it
No,
was
no, no.
before
I'm saying it was like, did I have the baby before we met
No, we
or
were
after?
together still. You had a
And then
baby with someone
that is
else.
upsetting.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
was bad.
that's not good.
Yeah. Anyway, I can't believe you didn't know that. That's so funny. I like often like for like poetry, imagery, and stuff. Go to like that list of like see what I've been thinking about lately.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. If you could travel to any time period in a time machine, when would you choose and why?
Any time period. I'm presuming it means past.
That's interesting. It doesn't say. Would you choose to go to the future? I'd be too afraid. The future's like an unknown quantity.
The past is racist.
That's also true. I thought maybe you would go back to like, since you've been like learning more about Egyptian history, I thought maybe you'd go back to like the Ottoman period or something. No.
Yeah. No, I think I'd go back to like I don't know.
The past is racist, but you don't have to be in the U.S. You could be somewhere else.
No,
You
I
know that
know.
you would be less disadvantaged. Or...
At a time when like still philosophical concepts were novel and people were like, hey, what if like our perception of things is different?
like,
and I would say
what
some
time?
shit like that. And then people would be like, dude, he's the most insane thinker.
So you would go back just to be famous.
This is like the smartest.
Not to like visit.
This is the smartest guy, dude. He has like his thoughts are we're thinking about like what kind of like wood we can or cannot eat, but this man is like having thoughts.
Okay.
Or like what kind of
so not a specific time, just a time that you could flex.
Whether or not I should shackle my wife to whatever our little hut is, but this man. He thinks maybe rights don't emanate from like God. I don't know.
Wow. This is not very like big picture thinking.
Where would you go? Yeah.
But I feel like I would want to see my mom as a teenager. Like I think that'd be interesting.
What did you get out of that?
I don't know. I'm like really close to my mom, and I think I'd just be like really curious to like talk to her and see what she was like at that time.
Like this is a movie, right? Like that's already
yeah,
a
it
movie.
is.
What is the movie?
Oh gosh, Back to the Future.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
It's a good movie.
So you'd do Back to the Future.
Yeah.
You'd go back
to like
45,
70s.
50 years.
My mom was only 64. So I'd go back, like
50 years.
Yeah, maybe like I'd want to go back to when she was like 16, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'd be curious to hear what she would think about like, I think so much of like her life she's happy with, but like I wonder if it's what she imagined or could have imagined at that time. I'd just be curious to ask her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, last one. Well, this is a cute one. These are both cute. All right, I'll go with this one. What's the first job you ever wanted to have as a kid?
The concept of jobs terrified me as a kid.
That's such an Ahmed answer. I love that.
And
you're like, always an anti-capitalist.
I don't think I was.
You never dreamed of labor.
I didn't.
Aww,
I mean, I think if I had
baby.
to pick something, like in high school, I was just like, I want to go to school for music, and I never really thought about career after that.
Like you wanted to be a drummer, maybe professionally?
I knew that I just wanted to continue being good at drums because it was like the only thing I was ever good at.
That's not true, but at that time.
No, like actually, I was like not good at school, but I was like one of the best drummers in the state, and I was just like, doesn't it make sense for me to just continue doing this? And yeah, like I don't know what the career would be or would have been, but
that was the thing you wanted to keep doing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Well, now you're
What
good at
about
many
you?
things, mashallah. I wanted to be a writer.
Okay, you kind of are.
Kind of, yeah. I
Good
would like
job.
to do more creative writing, but
You nailed it.
yeah, I do write for a living. Yeah. I wanted to be a writer and a woman. Those were my two things. So I'm doing pretty
Dude,
good.
you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my mom.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. And we'll see you later.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.